a dash cam.
From who?
The 360 dash cam by Type S. So that way we can... Basically what happened in Atlanta was, on our way back from Atlanta, we were driving through downtown Atlanta. We were stopped in traffic and somebody hit our truck. So we didn't have any dash cam footage to prove that it was their fault. So basically insurance says you either pay 50-50 or we have to pay for the mirror ourselves. So we decided to get in contact with Type S. They shipped us out a dash cam for the truck. That way we can prevent that from happening in the future. So we have the dash cam right here. We're gonna mount it probably about right here. It'll record interior and exterior footage of the truck. So that way we can protect ourselves in any sort of case of a collision, theft, and whatnot. So right now I'm trying to figure out how to install it. Right now we got to connect this to 12 volts of power from the truck, run it along the headliner to this power cord that plugs directly into the dash camera.
Is there any specific tools that we're gonna need?
I don't know yet.
Nah,
we'll figure it out as we go. Alrighty guys, so we got the wire routed. I routed it down here. I took the center console out of the truck. We're gonna tap into power and ground right here. These get constant 12 volts. I will verify that for you right here. There's the multimeter. So red goes on red. Let me switch it to voltage real quick. So we got power, and then touch it to a ground. We get 12 volts. And then let's switch it back to continuity. And I'll show you that we have perfect continuity on the ground. So red goes on black, and then touch it to ground, and we're getting continuity right there. So that means we have a constant ground as well. So basically what I'm trying to do is make sure this is on a constant power. So that way whenever the truck's off, it continues recording when we're not there. Truck's parked. That way if anything happens to the truck while we're not there, we have it on recording. So right now I'm about to take this fuse tap right here. Not fuse tap, wire tap. You stick one wire in one side, the other on the other side. This clamps down. That way it has a jumper through it. We're gonna do the power right now. I'm gonna try to open this up a little bit more. Maybe. If I can get it through. Tap in. So on this one goes all the way around the wire that you're trying to tap into. Insert the other wire you're trying to tap into right here. And then there's a little clamp. Clamps down on both wires and sends power through this metal part right here. So clamp it down. It's a little tough. There, now we should have 12 volts. Let's see if it worked. So we're gonna take this, set it to voltage again. I'm going to take it on the wire that we tapped into it. There's a little bit of exposed wire right here. And then touch it to ground. Maybe. If I can touch the wire. Oh, it didn't even tap it. Right now, I'm going to clamp it down with some pliers just so I can know it gets a good seat. Now that it's all the way through evenly, let's test it for power. So we got power on there. Put the wrench to where it's supposed to be. touch it, and we get 12 volts.
I wouldn't say that. You can give credit where credit's due, but I do not know what I'm doing.
I'm just gonna pull that center section out. That way it's easier to go in. Open it up a little bit. Trying to get in that inside one. Now, insert that into there.
What are we inserting?
I just inserted the ground into the ground wire tap. I'm putting it opposite of the actual power side, so that way if they start shaking and whatnot, they don't touch. I will wrap it up nicely afterwards. I just didn't want these two exposed wires to touch while I'm in here working on it, so I put them on the opposite sides. So now I'm going to put the actual tap, the middle part of the tap, back in there. I just took it out because it's easier to get the wires in.
I'll do sealant and drifting.
Crush it.
I'll think of a new name.
That was my wrist popping. So now that those are tapped, I'm going to test for continuity, that it has a proper ground. And it does. Crush it.
I'll think of a new name.
That was my wrist popping. So now that those are tapped, I'm going to test for continuity, that it has a proper ground. And it does. It's over, lock it in place, and I'm gonna go grab some flush cuts and cut those ends off so those don't touch anything. Gotta make sure we're not cutting the other wire. There we go. How do you think? Alright, so now I'm plugging the dash cam in, verifying that it works. Peel that off, and boom. We got power. So right now that we verified that it has power, I'm going to unplug it again. We'll get it all set up once it's fully installed and to its proper location. I got it all routed up along this pillar, put that back in place. I got the wire hanging out right here. It's just tucked up underneath the headliner at the moment. So now that we got power to it, I'll wait for it to load.
What are we trying to do now?
Trying to adjust the view. Camera settings, or video settings.
Gonna be all real time so you guys can see how intuitive it is.
Mode. So normal 180. There's a normal 360. There's also VR, fisheye, 2-in-1, 3-in-1. I don't know what the 2-in-1 is. But I'm gonna try normal 180 degrees. Back. Trying to figure out how to.
Don't rub too hard. I don't know if that's gonna mess up the tint. That's alcohol. Good. Thank you.
So now I'm gonna peel it.
Yeah.
And stick it. It's about right here, right?
I think it was a little lower.
Right there.
Yeah. Probably should have turned the camera on.
So wire catch right here in the dash cam. So that way whenever this goes back on there, it goes directly up into the headliner. Maybe. It doesn't slip right through. So we tuck this up all up in here. Just like that. Dash cam installed. Now we just got to put the trim panels back on. It's all good to go. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Thank you guys for watching.